The old Tour de France was almost completely different to what it is today. Here are 5 reasons why it was so crazy. The violence and cheating. Tour founder Henri Desgrange was nearly forced to scrap the entire event after the second ever race in 1904 was blighted by violence, cheating and disqualification. The race's first ever winner, Maurice Garin, was attacked by 4 masked men on the first stage but still managed to go on to win it. Other riders had drafted cars and some even rested in cars being driven. Garin also broke rules, asking officials for food, which, given him being the star of the show, they actually allowed. Local crowds soon heard, and in the following stage they stopped Garin from following local rider Antoine Faré, injuring him in the process. Officials fired shots into the air to disperse the crowd. That didn't stop the crowd playing their part though, as they riddled the next stage with broken glass and nails, causing numerous punctures, and even carried on attacking riders who weren't local heroes. After the race had finished, Desgrange was so mad at all the cheating that he disqualified the first 4 riders and was very close to scrapping any future Tour de France. But thankfully, after making some rule changes, the Tour returned the next year. It stopped a civil war. In 1948, Italy was embroiled in civil strife as communists and other political parties were inches away from starting all-out war among themselves. The leader of the Italian Communist Party had been shot in the neck but somehow survived, keeping civil war on ice for the time being. Not long after, communist members seized factories as well as radio and television stations. All the while, politicians continued to argue it out. But then came news that Italian cycling hero Gino Bartali had won 3 Tour stages in a row and led the Tour de France by 14 minutes before winning it by a massive margin of 26 minutes. According to Bartali's obituary, all differences were at once forgotten as the feuding politicians applauded and congratulated each other on a cause for such national pride. The amazing timing saw hardship all over the country melt away as people celebrated the rider's second yellow jersey win. Bartali's heroics weren't only confined to 1948 though. He even helped numerous Italian Jews escape persecution during the Second World War. What a legend! It was savage. Despite being invented in 1905, original tour organiser Henri Desgrange didn't allow the use of derailleurs until 1937. Until then, most riders mounted a cog on either side of their rear wheel, and to change gear had to stop, turn the wheel around and attach the chain to the other cog. Desgrange was known for the punishingly high standards he expected of riders, and once said that the ideal tour would be one in which only one rider finished. He was very clear that riders could not accept help of any sort. In 1913, when the leading rider, Eugene Christophe, broke his front fork, he was forced to pick up his bike and run 10 kilometers to the nearest blacksmith to have it fixed. He finished the race, only to be informed of a time penalty because a boy had helped him with the bellows at the blacksmith's. Riders were giants compared to today. 1909 winner Francois Faber was 6'2" and weighed 88 kilograms, a beast of a man compared to today's scrawny riders, but that didn't stop him dominating. Back then, the etiquette was that riders couldn't stop and change gear before the leader did. Faber used this to his advantage and was known to grind down his opponents by pushing giant gears up the climbs until his rivals yielded. In fact, Faber was so good that contemporaries described how he used to stop at bars and eat his sandwiches to wait for his colleagues so he could finish the day in their company because he didn't like riding alone all the time. Sports nutrition? What the fuck is that? Riders in the early tours didn't really think too much about their nutrition. 1904 winner Henri Cornet's diet reportedly consisted of 11 litres of hot chocolate, 4 litres of tea, champagne and 1.5 kilos of rice pudding a day to help him tackle the 2,400 kilometre race. Riders were known to drink alcohol during the race, with beer regarded as an important element in one's diet. Mid-race beer drinking continued right up until the 1960s even, with designated team members running into bars to stuff their jersey pockets full of bottles of beer. So next time you're watching something crazy happen at the Tour, remember that things were a whole lot crazier 100 years ago.